So I know it's depressing to constantly talk about the news on this channel here, and I'm hoping with this video we'll get into something a little more uplifting and comedic, because I'm about to show you a skit comedy that is really funny. And I hope the humor heals people. I always say that humor is the best medicine when it comes to a divisive world, when it comes to healing the wounds of society. You know, we should laugh together, it unites people together. Take it as you will. And especially in the topic of wokeism, which I know stirs a lot of mixed emotions. It's like an emotional stew pot of craziness when we mention, people talk about the woke society and what words to say and what not. And anyway, I want to show you this clip though, because it ties into all of that and just the world that we live in. So this is in Australia. Well, this comedy skit is from Australia, but this is tweeted out by Samuel Edwards. Says this pretty much explains the modern world today. And this is from a late night comedian in Australia who goes by the name of King. That's how you pronounce his name? Kinne. So Keen. I don't know the phonetic spelling, so I'm just gonna go off the spelling of it. So we'll go with that. But here's a little comedy demonstration of the world that we live in today. And like I said, take as you will, but take a look.
Mom's not gotta get in. Oh, wait on. I'll just ask this guy. Excuse me, would you mind taking a photo of us?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody say cheese.
Oh, actually, I'm a vegan. Could you please have us say something else?
Okay, everybody say tofu.
Tofu is actually not as good for you as vegans think. Any CrossFitter will tell you that. It's bad for your testosterone levels.
Okay, I'm sorry. How about we all just smile?
Oh, if one more asshole asks me to smile.
Not really an arsehole. Taking a photo for you, so...
What's there to smile about anyway?
Okay. Would you like me to just count backwards from 3?
Oh, would you like dyslexic people to just not exist?
My cousin has dyslexia, so offended.
Adopted. Don't even know who my cousins are, so more offended.
How about this? We all put a word we're comfortable with in our heads, and I'll get the shot.
No, it doesn't sound very inclusive, though, does it? I suppose you'd like us all to stand a few metres apart, would you, Stalin?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I don't see what religion has to do with this.
Well, I'm an atheist, so majorly triggered.
Is that a comment on the gun debate? Still trying to control people.
But it's not just the people. Has anyone thought about the animals?
Look, this is what we're going to do. Everybody throw up a peace sign, and I'll take a photo.
Wow. Cultural appropriation is alive and well. Why don't you just ask us to say kung fu?
Guess what? New plan, group selfie, ready, set, go, boom. And looks awesome. You're going to love it.
What?
Nice to meet you.
Oh. You took it with the front camera, you stupid cyclist dick!
So, I'll admit, that was funny. That was absolutely funny. And like I said, it does highlight the modern world. And I know it's supposed to pin on I'm guessing the millennial generation, because, we're pretty prone to the woke culture thing. And sadly, not by choice, I am part of the millennial generation. I was born in 1995, so I'm kind of in that post-millennial, almost into Gen Z territory. But, even I just don't understand this woke culture. I really don't understand this. And I think it's mostly because it's been so indoctrinated with the corporate establishment. It's been played down and kind of manifested through corporations, through, the culture that corporations invoked. And it's just, we've had to swallow it down for years and just deal with it. And it really just doesn't help the situation. And we've been pointing the flaws out for years about, just kind of the wokeness, the hypocrisy of the wokeness in regards to it. Like, for example, in the past, we mentioned about how, Pride Month, corporations like to take advantage of Pride Month by, showing its colors and changing its logo and saying that they adore gay people and, inclusiveness for the LGBTQ plus alphabet group community. but it's also a company that's making cluster bombs to kill black and brown people. So you see that it's all hypocritical, it's all ridiculous, it's all chaotic, and it doesn't help the situation. It doesn't help the situation when you have a situation like this. And as George Carlin once said, and I want to pull up his stand-up for a second, this is done purposely. This woke nature is not just something that was spearheaded by some individual. This was done in advance, partially by the establishment. This is basically the top-down situating itself by talking about our divisiveness, talking about our, division and try to separate people while making it sound inclusive in order for them to get away with systemic actual problems in the world. Because we're run by ruling class of criminals, we're run by sociopathic, illegal thespians that are out of control and chaotic, and because they're able to get away with, so much in the world because we're so focused on the woke culture. It's the divide and conquer strategy of the establishment that they placated for years. And here's George Carlin's take, and this is from, I think this is 1992 or 93, where he mentioned about this. Before even the wokeness got to the point that we're in now, he mentioned about this in 1992 about how focusing on division of people is their best strategy. And whose best strategy it is? Not for the people. It's the establishment that's oppressing the people. They're the ones that establish the woke culture, so we get brainwashed and manipulated and distracted by the division and not focus on the real criminal acts.
Now I'd like to talk about a few things that bring us together, okay? Things that emphasize our similarities instead of our differences, which is all you ever hear about in this country, is our differences. It's all they ever talk about. Politicians and the media, always pushing the things that separate us, things that make us different. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing. Fairly simple thing. Happens to work. Anything that's different about us, that's what they're pushing at you. Racial differences, religious, ethnic, national backgrounds, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything they can do to keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank. You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country? The upper class keeps all of the money, pays none of the taxes. The middle class pays all of the taxes, does all of the work. The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class. Keep them showing up at those jobs.
That's so true. That is so true. And they do it constantly. They do it constantly. They scare you with the idea of poverty. They scare you with, homelessness and, hey, if you don't, pick yourself up by the bootstraps and, endlessly kill yourself at the workplace, you're going to end up like this homeless guy who's having multiple problems that we've ignored for years. So, but there you go. That was George Carlin, 1992-ish, 93. Early 90s, we'll go with that, early 90s. Talking about how they use division to distract people and how it ties into the woke culture. Because instead of people mentioning about the corruption and chaos and the real dystopian nightmare that is the ruling class that's really doing the oppression, they're cracking down on individuals for saying the wrong words. And like I said, there's a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of things to point out, and just how crazy and chaotic it all is. So kudos to the Australian Kind King guy. That was a funny take, and I feel like I should do more of those kind of videos. I I've been starting to do a lot of TikTok, which I don't think I've mentioned on the scroll here. I gotta change that. But yes, we are on TikTok. I've been doing a couple videos on there. But you know, I am just one person. So to have multiple platforms with one person to deal with all of it, it gets overwhelming. So please bear with me. But there you go. Wokeness. Humor with wokeness. Let's just say that.